live at the cookbook, and we're going to jump back in.
The book?
High school playoffs. Mandarin and Reigns
Playoffs?
try to repeat. Will they? FSU and Bowles alum, what is that? Sharon Dorsey has Terry Parker going into the playoffs after a strong season. Will try to join the list, and they're going to try to join the list as state champs. What do you guys feel about that?
Well, unfortunately, I was informed that they lost. Parker lost, so they won't be joining the list. So, unfortunately, I feel terrible because I can remember for all my days, Parker has been basically a doormat. They were worse than Inglewood. So, I mean, that's saying a lot in itself. But and for him to turn it around, I was really looking forward to seeing them compete, and there was a lot of energy behind them. I was really looking forward to seeing them compete. But as we know, Ichiban, beat Westside. They're carrying on.
Spanked them.
Yeah, they did. The defense really turned up on them, from what I hear. And my feelings basically on all of those. Oh, also Mandarin lost. So, and I know they were a little shaky on the foe that they faced. They had never faced them in the playoffs, and they were looking.
Your fellow Seminoles, Sanford Seminoles. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Man, they couldn't make it happen.
Anything with the spill, bro.
Yeah, I knew that's what.
But good news. Beck, Georgia commit. He threw for what, 15 touchdowns or whatever.
He looked pretty good.
Yeah.
But,
So.
oh.
I forgot to welcome George to the panel, so I want to make sure we give George a shout out.
Yeah,
George
man,
is joining us on our sports section, so I'm sorry about that, but I did want to make sure that I made mention.
You dirty like that.
And then he can.
5'10" light skin. She forgetting people.
Okay, so y'all pick it back up.
And,
Please send your app stuff.
Terry Parker, I thought they were gonna actually beat that team. They played. They looked good, but
Yeah, man. It was
beforehand. But I guess when you playing somebody from out of state, they were like, ugh. it was ugly out there. Yeah, it looked real bad.
Oh, man.
And for that alum to say that they were a potential playoff team, they were.
Yeah.
And maybe next year, hopefully, a few of those juniors come back better. Them seniors that they had were wild, but
Yeah.
hopefully a few of those juniors come back motivated and ready to go, and I think they'll probably lose maybe 3 games instead of 4.
Unfortunately, I think Parker going to go back to being Parker.
You think so? Just
yeah,
that one
I think
little...
it's just one of them schools, you know what I mean? Like some schools, they have those blips, and then they just... I mean, I'm rooting for them because he's a FSU alum and all, but... And I like the energy when more teams in the city are doing well, and, city's got a buzz because for some reason it's like Jacksonville High School ball get a bad, rap. It's like...
Right. I think, right now, Terry Parker hadn't made the playoffs since when Lionel Gates. I was a sophomore that year. That guy was a beast. But, like a lot of other programs, the best talent goes to Reigns or Reebok every year, or to charter schools, certain ones. But we do know that Reigns has the juice when it comes to the playoffs. We go pretty much the furthest out of most public high schools. We go a little further than other teams. Our teams are built for the playoffs. A lot of these teams don't schedule the teams that we schedule throughout the year to sharpen them up before the playoffs. That's what makes them stand out a lot more. And you see it. A lot of the teams that do come out of public schools, they usually are one and done. Some do go all the way, but I thought Mandarin was severely overrated this year. They only rated. Yeah, Reigns beat those guys, and they didn't even get any. So I expect Reigns to go pretty far. I don't know if they'll.
I think it's going to be hard to, what in essence would be a 3-peat, but even though we're in a different district, I think it's going to be hard. I see us probably making the semifinals.
Yeah. I mean, if they pull this one off this weekend.
All praises due, man.
If they pull this one off this weekend, they really have a good shot of going to the state because Wakula, from what I heard, is that thing.
Yeah.
So they
they got D1 prospects all over the field. So.
But one thing I can say about Reigns, they faced that all year, so they should be ready for that. They faced the biggest and the baddest.
Yeah,
of them
they
all.
played Trinity and
Sandalwood
from
Jones.
Orlando. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we took our lumps during the season, but I think it's gonna really help. Cause I admittedly was upset, when I seen some of the scores, and then it was so flip flop. Like we'll play one team here, Ed White or somebody, we'll beat them like 30-7. Then we'll play we'll play like Jones somebody, and the score get reversed on us. So I'm like, man, where we at here? But I think we're gonna do our thing this year. Ichiban all the way.
All right. Next
See, talking
up,
on Terry.
B-Ball Town. NBA season has started. Do you think that Jacksonville, the city itself, could support an
Shout out
NBA
Brooklyn.
team here? I think we could. I think a lot of people like basketball being indoors because no one really likes going out there in the sun. You see how it was at the Kansas City game, and it was more Kansas City jerseys because it was hot. I was about to pass out. Shoot, we both about to pass out, standing just waiting to get in. Let alone
Don't put
I
my
hate to know what
business
people
out there.
doing with beer. You understand what I'm saying? About to pass out. So I say bring as much as we can here, and if it falls away, it falls away. But I think we should try. You always should try.
I would love to see the NBA. I don't think we would support it though. I think we too up and down. I mean, I think Jacksonville does have an underlying b-ball culture here. With the Giants, the little minor league team or whatever you would consider them. Yeah, they be pretty good. A lot of people follow them. And then I know like back in the days with me and my pop, like the 80s when JU was doing their thing with the hoopla. And we had
Shout
Otis
out
Smith.
to the Giants. I saw them yesterday down there at the parade, Veterans Day parade. They walked through. So just want to give a shout out to the Giants. We'd love to have you on.
That's what's up.
I think it'll be great for the city. I think they would come out and support because when the Sharks came back, it was undying support of them. They actually went and won it all that year too. So I think it'll be something different other than football here. And it doesn't take as many people to fill that arena as it would a football stadium. So I think they would get great support, depending on the roster and who they bring here. And I really think it would. It'll bring a lot of people out. And those seats are a lot cheaper. So we'll see.
I think that Jacksonville will support anything that promotes a winning culture.
Facts.
A lot of the things that have been brought to us have been duds. We've got our hopes up. We put our money behind it, and then we get ridiculed throughout the season and, of course, after the season is over. Anything that brings a winning culture, you're going to bring the people out in Jacksonville because we love to support the winners. You know what I'm saying? We want the things that we can be proud of. I hate to say it, but look at the Jaguars for how many years we've been ridiculed now. They support us. We just had to support y'all a little bit from a distance there. Kind of hard to go out of town with y'all for a little bit.
That's why we're here, because we're going to support Duval till we
Die.
die. That's what they have to understand, the culture that we're trying to change here is whether we win or we lose, we're still about our team and our city. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to snatch you, Mike, but I get worked up when the people just don't want to support, and we're blessed to have an NFL team out of 32 cities, out of 20,000 cities out of this country. We're blessed to have a team out of 32 teams, 32 cities, and if it leaves, it'll be a shame. It really would, because I don't think we will get another one back.
Nah.
Definitely
We
a
still,
wrap.
still considered a small market here.
That's fine too. They'll sell out. But
Yeah.
I did some research on that about Jacksonville having a basketball team. It was actually in the top 25. It was at 23 or 23, and the only other Florida team that was ahead of us was in Tampa, which was at 12. But I think the problem here is we don't get a lot of – it's a marketing scheme that we don't promote in the marketing side, like television-wise. It was so many years back, or even still now, that when you're watching the Jags game, it's a blackout. And it's only a blackout because of why?
Tickets sold.
They didn't sell. But if you're watching regular TV commercials, even if you don't have cable, you got the basic channels, you should still see some type of motivation or a promotion for a Jaguar game. And the Jumbo Shrimp, that's a perfect example of a double-A team. I actually go to a few of their games, and they don't even sell out. But it's due to the fact that everything is all about marketing. When they were the Jacksonville Suns, the stadium used to be kind of live.
It was packed.
Baseball's never been hotter with the Jacksonville Suns. You hear
Come
me?
on.
Everybody used to be out there. It used to be fun. But it's just I'm just go against the grain and say Jacksonville wouldn't know how to support a basketball team due to that, because we got the Giants now. That's a minor league basketball team. They're actually fairly good. If you actually go and watch them, they're pretty good. So, but you can have a nosebleed seat. I done been there a few times. You get nosebleed seats, and it'd be so empty that you could get courtside baseline next to the players. I'm talking about up front with them. So I think we need to start coming out and supporting these guys who are actually giving it they all like we do up here. And once we do that, that's when everything will go smooth for us.
I agree with you and definitely concur with you that a lot of it is due to marketing as well. I don't think that the people who are marketing for these major teams are really in tune with the communities that are here to support them. A lot of the marketing really isn't geared towards them, so a lot of that responsibility I'm starting to see is falling to the players to utilize their social media platforms to leverage
promote
that
themselves.
attraction.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Even with just this season, a lot of the reason that we went is because of the personnel. It's not because of how the Jaguars marketed it to us. You know what I'm saying? Like,
No.
I've seen the Jaguars commercials. I've seen those things. But it was nothing like compared back when we still had Mark Brunell, Jimmy Smith, and all those, Fred Taylor and all those guys on the team, and how they really marketed it to the city. Like, they put a marquee painting on a building downtown with the 3 marquee players. Like, that's marketing. Like,
Yes.
all day and every day,
They need
people
to
wake
have
up, drive
way
on the
more
buses, go to
going
work.
into
We
it.
see them.
The thing that pushed them was they were the true underdogs of the league. They did things during those times that they upset teams that we wasn't supposed to beat. We wasn't supposed to beat the Steelers that year. We wasn't supposed to beat the Dolphins that year. We wasn't supposed to beat the Broncos that year. That put the whole NFL on notice. Then we came back the following year and only lost to the same team 3 times. So that's what that was, you know.
But it also drives back to the winning culture. It's hard to market a losing culture to anybody. The Cleveland Browns sell out almost every game,
There
mainly
you go.
because they have a really long history. We barely have 25 years with the Jaguars.
Yes.
The
But
Browns have been there since the beginning of the league, like before it was big and famous.
You're
They grew
speaking
up
true.
with that. For us here, we kind of jumped in the middle of the NFL already being big. Like before the Jaguars got here, I was a Raiders fan, and the moment 1995 hit, we got a team. That was it. All hands down, I'm a Jaguar. I don't care about no other team
it's
in the
your
NFL.
city, right?
Mm-hmm.
You born and raised?
Born and raised.
Oh, okay. Yes. I mean, really.
I don't.
And
No,
they're
I'm
not
just
gonna
being
support a loser
like,
yet
like,
again.
like Orlando. They got lucky. They, because of how the draft was set up and the lottery balls, they got Shaq and Penny and was able to win quick. So they built a following. So now that they're sorry and that it's Orlando, whole different marketing setup of how they run their city, people come through, oh, let's go to a basketball game. You know what I
True.
mean?
True.
Jacksonville, they're not going to really push people. What do we have to push people? We don't really push people out to go to Jaguar games as a main event. Like, it should be like, oh, man, you went to Jacksonville? I know you went to the
Jaguars
game.
game. Yes.
You know what I mean?
No.
So I don't think at this present time that a basketball team would survive those hard knock days. And
You
it'll
saying
probably,
eventually down the road.
yeah, eventually
Let's-
down the road, city grows.
Let us know
maybe
what
we
you
change
think
our
people-
mindset. I think it would be a great place for basketball. Yeah,
All it takes is one player with a
Exactly.
basketball team.
yeah. Yeah. Yes.
Put it to his mouth.
You're absolutely right. I mean,
Y'all gonna let me get to this next question.
go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, like I said, due to us having our guests and just for shorter time, we're gonna skip the Florida State question this week, okay? All right, and we're gonna go into the real MVP. What are y'all guys' thoughts on Lamar Jackson chances to win MVP? Lamar Jackson and Patrick Mahomes creating a new wave of minority quarterbacks, the dual threat. How do you guys feel?
First off, y'all gonna quit trying Russell Wilson like he ain't leading the league right now. And everything. He looking good. His completion rating is like a 68, but Lamar Jackson, he revolutionary. That's a different breed of dude, man. He remind me of Vic. And it sucks that he didn't come to Jacksonville. The Jaguars couldn't just bite the bullet and get him. It'll be now that we'll go back to that last question. If y'all had Lamar Jackson, them seats would be going off right now. Y'all wouldn't even need the personnel around him. Just having a mobile quarterback with flashes every game. Come on, man, you can't beat that. Pete Mahomes, but is alright. I mean, I'm not too pressed on him. I'm not impressed at all. Actually, he do them little flashy plays. Okay, buddy. You know what I'm saying? I don't really think that's nothing impressive for me. Just go out there and play a game. It looks good, but eventually teams are gonna get winded at it. You're gonna start getting exposed. I'm just waiting for that to come. And about them two being what was the question?
Two minorities.
Yeah, the minority. I mean, it's a lot of good black quarterbacks right now in the league. So I don't know. But Lamar Jackson is leading the way because everybody's looking at him like, dang, this is what Mike Vick was doing. So I think it's all a breath of fresh air for everybody to see it again. You don't think so?
Mm-mm.
I'm
That boy
gonna
gonna
let
get
them explain why they don't think so. Excuse me.
My thing is like this is an easy playbook to pick back up again. Like you said, it is almost a familiarity of Michael Vick. After a few years of Michael Vick running, he was very easy to contain. And after he became contained, what happened? Injury prone because they started hitting him because they got tired of getting made look bad by a man who's running by them.
But the thing about the thing that makes Lamar stand out, the reason why you can't compare him to Vic is because they tried to make Vic run a white system of football. My thing is, I played. If you have a system that caters to that player, that's going to bring the best out of that player. They didn't run a system for. If Vic had this system,
It's called
that Lamar,
coaching.
yeah. If Vic had this system that Lamar Jackson has, or if he'd had the system he had when he
Y'all
was
would
with
have
the
won the
Eagles,
Super Bowl.
with the Eagles, when he did have his best years passing the ball, imagine what he would have been his entire career. That's the difference. If he'd had the same offense, Lamar Jackson, we would not even be talking. He wouldn't be in the same conversation with Vic right now. That's what you don't understand. They're not the same. Vic ran when they broke down. No, Lamar's coming at you, and there's nothing you can do about it. Whether he can do anything on that field, and they had this man contained. Listen, they had two spies, two defensive ends containing, and a linebacker. He still broke the shit and got to the 5-yard line. How? And this was the Patriots. The Patriots. But at this time,
Oh, you know about them Patriots, boy. Don't
Yeah.
act like that.
Yeah, don't
That
act like-
Atlanta get on. Don't act like you don't know about.
But-
Ooh.
But long story,
Yeah.
but long story short, Patrick Mahomes, for him to be in the league for 2 years, coming off the bench and doing what he does, that's big at a young age. That's big. I commend him because he's young. You don't, bro. When we was growing up, our young quarterbacks wasn't like that.
Nah.
They ain't see a lot of day until they about 26, 27, maybe that. And you had one unicorn. What was that? Peyton Manning. Tom. Yeah,
Well,
Tom.
Tom. I mean, Tom was a different. Tom
He-
was a
he was
different
different.
beast. But I know
I'm
what he's
talking
saying.
about the
He's saying
early-
as far
I'm
as
talking about the
them letting
early
them go
years.
when they started all the first round
You
draft
ain't-
picks getting pushed in there.
you
You
ain't-
usually sat behind
A
Nick
veteran,
Foles.
right?
Like we got Minshew, we think he gonna be something. All right, boy, you finna hit this bench for 3 years. You gonna have to learn this playbook inside out
like Steve Young.
and come
Steve,
out here and get to him.
Steve. Yeah, you had some
But
anomalies
see, they
later.
did the same thing with McNair that they did to Vic to me. If you remember when McNair came out, he was Air McNair. They turned him into a runner, which later shortened his career, and that's when he started chunking it at the back part of his career. Like, what's my man
They didn't
name?
treat him-
Jeff, what's his name?
Hostetler?
The
Oh.
coach who ruined the quarterback's
Fisher.
career. Jeff Fisher, the same thing he tried to do to V. Young. The same thing we see with Jared Goff. Soon as he leave Goff out here just diming it out. It's a lot of times it's with coaching, and like I don't feel like the thing that's separating Lamar from him beyond coaching is they are two different people. It's like he studied where Vic went wrong and perfected it. Like if you look at it, Lamar, they calling these run plays for him, but he does look to throw the ball way more to me than Vic ever did. Vic whole thing was he was gonna slice the field and that West Coast. I'm gonna get out on this bootleg. Everything was sprint draw. It break down. Do what you do, bro.
Exactly.
Video gaming. You know what I mean?
Exactly. I mean,
Where they are actually calling these plays. He went and specifically got this dude from San Francisco. What y'all did with Cap? Because this dude, he gonna be what they wouldn't let Cap be.
then went straight to Louisville and hollered at his offensive coordinator, head coach. These concepts, he's running the same concepts he did at Louisville, and he's dominated the league with it. 12-3 as a starter. No, 13-3 as a starter in the league. Can't get no better than that, bro.
You got it. I was just gonna say I agree with you because you're absolutely right. You can't absolutely down.
All right. Thank you guys again for joining us on Excuse the Duval and Me Talk Show. We're done with sports. We're going to be back next Tuesday here live at the Cookbook at 8 p.m., 1827 North Pearl Street. All merch, go to Excuse the Duval and Me Big Cartel. And please check us on all social media, Excuse the Duval and Me. And we are out. Excuse the Duval and Me. Y'all, you know what? How y'all going to show the shirt and leave me hanging? Oh, you got it on. Okay. Thank you.
Where you from, Duval?